Hi everyone, I'm back here, Monique Bloxville, the founder of HeartPowered Business. As you know, these are our heart-powered inspiring interviews. And as you know, every time I bring an incredible guest, and here we have an incredible man. He's really on a mission. His name is Sam Moinet, and he's saying about himself, he's leading the revolution in student well-being. And this is so important. Education is important. We know there's so much going wrong in education. And Sam is an international speaker and coach, and his aim is really to transform emotional support for young people and create lasting change for future generations. And I know we have a lot of you here with us today. You've been studying, right? And you know what kind of roller coaster ride you went on emotionally, mentally, in so many ways when you were a student. We wish we'd known Sam at that time to help us through that roller coaster ride of being a student, right? And he's really been a teacher for half a decade. He found many problems and challenges in the educational system that he's now taking head on to change and to really bring to a different level. Sam really created his own coaching program that uses simple and effective tools so that students can really start believing in themselves. Right? We've all been in doubt and fear when we went through our studies. So believing in ourselves is so important. And he's also, helping students to understand and believe in themselves, really knowing who they are, getting more clear on who they are and how they can really achieve their best. And I mean, he has already had incredible support. So far, student breakthrough his business has helped over 1,000 students already worldwide with supporting 10 concrete schools and universities. And I know that, Sam, this is a massive success already. So it's great to have you here. Welcome to our Heart Powered Inspiring interview today.
Yeah, Monique, thank you so much for having me. It's really, really cool to be here today. And thank you for that amazing intro. Really appreciate it.
Great. And you know what? I think we should also thank Roger Cheatham, our common friend, right? Because he said, hey, you know what, Sam is amazing. We should have you here. So thank you, Roger, for
Yes,
making
big
it
ups,
happen.
Roger. Thank you, mate.
And Sam, we always start asking the question like, in the current times, I know 2020 has been a challenging year, but right now, what keeps you strong and vibrant and what we call in the vortex?
I think for me, what keeps me in the vortex, I like that. What's keeping me strong and vibrant is like the support that's still needed for students and young people at this time. Like it's things like anxiety, depression, mental health challenges have only increased with obviously what's been going on in the world. So for me, like my driver is actually increased with trying to get this kind of support that we offer at Student Breakthrough, like into more schools, helping more kids. And ultimately I'm very like crystal clear on that envision, like with what I want to do. And I think I'm going to be honest, I doubt myself every day, but I never doubt that end vision and that end goal about where I'm going. So yeah, it's having that clarity about who I'm helping and why I'm doing it. Yeah.
It's so important because again, when we have that kind of mission that is, as you're saying, even becoming bigger than ourselves, this is what gets us up in the morning, no matter what mood we are in, right? This keeps us going in tough times. I mean, it's really important. So, I mean, looking at, your amazing organization and your amazing business, what are some of the things that you do right now in the current times that bring everything again to a different level? What are some of the best practices, the things you do that work very well in your business to grow your business further?
Yeah. I think for me, like I've reflected on this. I've had my best, weirdly, right? And again, assumptions people make in COVID or Brexit or whatever's going on in the world. This is a tough time for business. But this last month, I've had my best month. And I've had my most successful month in 2.5 years. And I put it down to three things. And I think the first one we've sort of mentioned already, which is like purpose, and which is the purpose for me to show up every single day and help as many students as possible and get my message out there as much as possible. And that's never stopped. So purpose has been important. I think alongside that, and I think everyone listens to this show with the heartfelt community, all that stuff, they're going to have passion. Like you're going to have passion for what you want to do. And again, I've never not been fired up for what I'm doing, and always reflecting on that success, I think is really, really key. I think the biggest thing for me that has kept me going is persistence. And I think if you're an entrepreneur, listen to this, especially in this time, like persistence has been so, so important. And I faced some more challenges this year. It's been tough. Times I've been so anxious. Like I didn't want to get out of bed. I was frozen to the spot. But like persistently just taking small action steps each day, even if that's making the bed and I don't know, and going on a walk, putting myself in the right headspace to go and serve and deliver. So yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah, persistence, passion, and purpose, I think, have been really, really helpful for me to elevate myself. And I think any entrepreneur listening to this will resonate with that, about how focused you've got to be on those three things.
Right. I love it. And, I would like to pick up on something you just said, Sam. You said last month was my best month ever. What did you do? How did you turn it into that best month ever?
So I don't know what I think about law of attraction. I'm not like saying I'm sold by the law of attraction, but here's the thing. For many, many years, I had a limiting belief. I've worked out from doing some inner work on myself around money and my childhood belief around money. And I kind of saw money as a bad thing. People with money are greedy, all this stuff that kind of has been holding me back. Anyway, I read a great book. My coach passed me this book and said, read it. If you're interested, it's called Overcoming Under-Earning. Got it here in front of me, by Barbara Stanny. Great coaching book. Anyway, I read this book and I feel all this sort of limiting belief, all this pressure kind of wash away from me about money. I changed my relationship with it. And then something magical happens. And schools and universities, I start getting contacted from them, not me contacting them, if that makes sense. So they were reaching out to me. And I've gotten much better at taking people through a pipeline and getting them signed up for the program. But it was weird. As soon as I finished this book in November, more stuff started to happen. And I don't know what you could put it down to, universe, life, whatever, I don't know, karma, whatever. But it was interesting. I finished this book. I kind of changed my relationship with money, that I'm actually worth this. And my product is great. It gets results. I deserve to be paid for it. And stuff decided to happen, Monique. And I can't put my finger on it, but I think the message there for everyone, I've been getting coached myself in personal development for like nearly 10 years. I'm pretty self-aware, but there's always stuff to find out. There's always stuff to learn, and almost like taking the blinkers off and finally seeing what could be. So yeah, I'm going to say that book was beneficial, but the fact that I'm always trying to learn and grow.
I so love what you're saying. It's, first of all, thank you for the book recommendation, right? There's a whole list of books that I recommend to my clients around building a solid relationship with money, right? Okay, another one that we can dive into, right? And it's obviously magical, so it shifted something for you. But you pretty much said what you took out of that book, and by the way, all of you, go for that book, okay? You said something that's really, really valuable. It's like you started to say, I'm worth it. What I'm offering has value. You started to embrace your own worth and value, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Oh, okay. It is time to make more money now. Yay! Absolutely. You know what? This is what I preach and teach every day, and I'm living every day as well, right? So the thing is, we always kind of project things into the future to come to us, right? But when we say it's now, I can take steps now, right? And again, you spoke about the law of attraction, and there's one thing in there that I really love, and that is you are very clear, you're crystal clear on what you want, right? Then you take inspired action, and then you let go, right? You detach. Meaning that what you did is obviously you start to embrace, hey, I'm worth it. I have a clear purpose. I know what I'm about. I know the difference I want to make, right? And that kept driving you, right? And then you took some action, and then maybe some opportunities came from another side. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there as well, where it's sort of like making space. Yeah. It sort of made space for either more thought to come in. It made space for more opportunities to come my way, me to say yes to them. I think, sometimes we are sort of so focused in on, as entrepreneurs, we've got to do, this is the way we've got to do it. This is how it has to be done. Yeah. And it sometimes takes a mentor, a coach, a book, a YouTube video to then start thinking, well, I don't have to do it this way. I have a choice. And I think I've literally made a choice. I'm going to make more money. And I haven't sat there meditating thinking I'm going to make £1 million, right? But I've like been determined. I've written stuff like this down. I've followed up more in leads. I'm more confident. Ask like on the phone. I'm set like, this is the price. This is what it's worth. Like you got 2 ways to pay. Which one suits? Like all this kind of confidence and inner belief that comes with it. But yeah, it was a big sort of moment. I haven't had many kind of big like aha breakthrough moments in a while. And that was definitely one of them. And I was reading this book. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been held back for years on this. And it's held my business back, you know, this belief that money was bad and people with money are greedy. And I'm doing this business for the kids and you can't be in education to make money. And, you know,
Yeah.
it's just held me back. So yeah, I think just keep learning and keep growing is the message.
I love and I congratulate you on that breakthrough moment, Sam, because again, that's what I keep saying all the time, right? When you do amazing work, you create amazing value. You work with these students, you get them to see who they are, you get them to embrace their own value. You get them to get clear on what do they want to do with their life. Why are they actually studying? Believing that they can actually succeed with their studies, right? And everything else. I mean, the work you do is so important, right? So again, when you do this kind of work, you should be rewarded well, right? Everything needs to be in balance. Your giving and taking needs to be in balance. And I love how you said, you know what? I understood that I'm worth making good money. And that, yes, absolutely, in the field of education. And I know there's a lot of people that work in the field of health where they say, oh my God, if someone is not doing well, how can I charge them good money, right? But we can. Because again, it is a give and take and it must be in balance, right? But I heard you also say that you started to reach out more to people, yes? So where did you gather that courage to reach out more? You know, who did you reach out? Where did you find the people to reach out to more?
I think actually what happened was I removed this belief, and I had basically a belief that I'm always going to be okay. Like my I don't know, I was always going to be helped out. I was always going to make another sale someday. But what would happen was if I didn't make a sale or a school or a university said, no, it's not for me, I'd sort of be like, oh, okay, cool. And I'd get a bit sad and then have an understanding that I was going to get bailed out eventually, either by a family member or another sale, but I wasn't very proactive. So now when someone's like, I don't want it, I'll either, you know, I'll work with them. I said, what can we do? What could be possible? Who else do you know? You know, great question. I always love asking on a call. Okay, so you don't want it. That's cool. But like, who else do you know that could benefit from this service? And yeah, just following up has been really more important. So basically, instead of saying, oh no, poor me, oh don't worry, Sam, you're going to make it one day, it's kind of been like, no, like the time is now.
Right.
Time is now to do it, and don't wait. Like, don't worry about this bailout. You can help yourself in the moment, right?
Right. And also, I love what you're saying. Also, starting to ask different questions, like who else do you know that would benefit from working with us? Or like also, as you said, like, good. So what else can we do together? Instead of,
Yeah,
oh
like,
no, this is done. This doesn't work. This is not really what we need. Good, but what do you need? How can we help you in some way, right? So finding additional opportunities with each other makes all the difference, right?
that referral question, like who else do you know, especially if you're asking existing clients,
Yeah.
It's so easy. Like,
Right.
and if we all did that, if we all asked our existing clients, who else do you know? Like, you'd probably easily make like, you know, extra, I don't know, a few thousand euros, pounds, dollars, whatever a month, just through picking up different people. It's such an unused, untapped resource sometimes.
It is, and that's why we are talking right now, because I asked Sam, you know, when I interviewed Roger as well. Hey, Roger, who else do you know? So Sam, this is how we're doing the interview right now, right?
Yeah, there you go. See, that's
powerful. Very powerful. Great. So I always like to, you know, not just inspire everyone that's here with us today, and it's great, by the way, to have you with us. I always like to also ask, you know, what is one thing, everyone that is watching this right now, what is one thing they can do to step up in a greater way, to embrace their own belief, or to really bring their business to the next level, or to embrace a more healthy mindset on money? You know, what you went through. What is one concrete step they can take today?
Well, I think the awareness I want to share is a great quote from Steve Jobs, my favorite quote of all time. It says that you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust the dots will somehow connect down the road. You have to trust in something, your God, destiny, karma, life. This approach has always helped me, never let me down. So what that says is, I think it's so important to reflect on the tough times and the setbacks and the challenges, and actually understand that whatever you've gone through, you're always going to grow through that, classic quote, and that you've got everything in you to always self-navigate. And I think the way to gain that awareness, and I ask myself these questions lots, these two questions really help me. And I encourage everyone to write them down. And when they have a challenge, or when they have a problem, they're so simple. I share it with students all the time. Ultimately, it says that, you know, failure and setbacks can be blessings if we embrace them. But the two questions are really simple. The first, what can I learn from this? All right, what can I learn from this? And the second, how can I use this knowledge? Now, you might be listening to this and thinking, well, that's painfully simple, but we don't ever really sit back sometimes and reflect on even the small things that haven't gone so well and how we can use that in the future. And when I was teaching, I used to ask the students these questions when I was a history teacher. And it really helped them to like actually understand, not just like surface level, actually understand like the reason why we're doing stuff and how it's going to help them and what the feedback was about. So I would encourage everyone to keep asking yourself those questions. What's this teaching me? What can I find out right now? And also, how can I use this in the future? You know, how can I almost start growing like armor on myself? How can I start growing protection on myself?
Yeah.
Because failure is just, you know, that it's like pulling back a bow and an arrow and you're just shooting off into a different direction, wherever that takes you. But embrace your failures and setbacks.
Great. I love it. 2 power questions. And we invite you also today, think of one thing that didn't go so well recently, you know, and ask these 2 power questions like, you know, what can I learn from that? And how can I use it going forward? I love it. So powerful, Sam. Good. I'm sure, Sam, a lot of people want to know more about Student Breakthrough and, and about you. How can they find you? Where can they connect with you?
Yeah, thanks, Monique. So on Facebook and Instagram, you can just search for Student Breakthrough, which is just as it says, Student Breakthrough. We're on YouTube as well. And on LinkedIn, it's Sam Moinet. And Moinet is French, even though I can't speak any French, unfortunately, but it's Moinet. So yeah, do connect with me. The website's studentbreakthrough.com. And you can email me at sam@studentbreakthrough.com as well. But if you listen to this and if, you know, it'd be really great to connect with anyone. Yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Great. Okay, Sam, thank you so much for being on with us, for your inspiring messages, okay, all your powerful hints. And first of all, thank you, okay, on behalf of every student on this planet for doing the amazing work you do. It's so, so important. Again, you know, as you're saying, I mean, you are helping create a generation that's going to uplift this world in so many ways. So thank you for your amazing work.
Awesome.
And all of you, you know, I know each one that's with us today. I know that you're really loyal and, you know, you're on a lot of our interviews, you know, just enjoy being inspired and just don't just get inspired, really take action every single time and answer 2 power questions that Sam shared with us today. And Sam, thank you for being on with us. Thank you for the amazing work you do. And we'll be back for all of you soon with another one of our heart-powered inspiring interviews. So thanks you for being on with us today. All the best for now.
Cheers, Monique. Thank you.